There's more breaking news there. North Korea reportedly has moved 3 Korean-American prisoners from a labor camp to a hotel. This happened back in early April, ahead, of course, of the upcoming summit with President Trump. Mr. Trump hinting about their possible release, tweeting, the past administration has long been asking for 3 hostages to be released from a North Korean labor camp, but to no avail. Stay tuned. What is behind Kim Jong-un's sudden change in tune? Here to weigh in, retired Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant and Senior Fellow at the London Center for Policy Research, Jessie Jane Duff. Jessie, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Cheryl. How are you?
Good. What do you make of this change in tone from the North Koreans? You've got experience in the region.
Well, what I predict is that this is going to be a bait and switch. They have been throwing out a carrot and stick policy throughout the time that we've been working with North Korea. In fact, in 2007, there was a reunification drive, and it all got trash canned. Everything that has happened with the North Koreans has always failed. So Condoleezza Rice is 100% correct. They tend to throw something out there and give us a high expectation and then switch it on us. In their constitution, it states that they must reunify with South Korea, but take over South Korea. And that essentially is in their constitution. So this may not work out well for South Korea if they fall too quickly, and the United States.
Well, it's interesting for South Korea because you've got a possible peace treaty on the table now between the two of them, in particular an end to the Korean War in an official capacity. But at the same time, what do you make of the optics of President Trump possibly doing his summit with the North Koreans in the DMZ? Do you think that that's kind of maybe not the right image that the president should be sending back to the American people?
Well, he's also discussed going to Singapore, which would probably be a neutral territory. I expect that the president is very, very cautious because we know that the North Koreans, although they've stated they're not going to pursue their nuclear ambitions, it's largely because China has insisted that they stop because their own nuclear test site has collapsed, and that nuclear radiation has filtered over into China. So we don't know what their actual agenda is. And when we start talking about every single attempt to have peace with them has resulted in them building up their military, building up their nuclear capabilities while we acquiesce, it has always not turned out very well.
You mentioned the bait and switch. Of course, this is something the regime has done for decades with American leaders. President Trump, though, is very aware of this and seems that the sanctions in particular seem to have been working on the North Koreans. He's not going to lift them just because, Kim Jong-un makes a promise. Right.
We're not going to lift the sanctions, nor are we going to withdraw the 28,000 troops from South Korea just because they say they're going to play nice. The reality is we've gotten China to buckle down hard. And that was very difficult for us because they like being the enabler of North Korea. They like North Korea being dependent upon them. But when you start talking about cutting off their financial stream, cutting off their banks from all international trade, you're looking at serious problems. So China realizes that the United States had the power in their hands.
Jessie Jane Duff, great to have you on the show this morning. Please come back anytime. We'd love to have you again.
Thank you, Cheryl.